once again to Caleb Blake's Books. Today I have my end of the month October 2024 update for you guys, talking a little bit about the books that I read this month, how things have been going with the channel, how things have been going with all kinds of things relating to me and the channel, and all of that stuff. Over the course of October, I started the month finishing 2 books, and I also read a short story that was actually on my September TBR. I didn't get to until the beginning of October. And then since then, I have read and finished 2 books, with 3 more that I am currently in the process of reading. And of course, this video is going up a few days before the end of the month, so I think I should be able to get through at least one of those, hopefully 2 by the end of the month, and then another one I might be kind of working through into the beginning of next month, potentially. So, to first discuss the books that I finished at the beginning of this month, I began the month actually on the 1st, reading The Litany of Earth by Ruth Anna Emrys. This is a short story prequel to the Innsmouth Legacy duology, which I was going to read this month, and I'm currently in the process of reading the first book in that duology, which is Wintertide. I started that fairly early in the month, I think, and it's just one that I haven't really gotten to very often, but I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through it. So I'm going to try to finish that by the 31st or so. At the latest, it'd probably be early November by the time I finish it, but I think I will hopefully be able to finish it by the end of the month or thereabouts. So far, enjoying that one a decent amount. I enjoyed the short story as well. It's different than what I expected it to be. So I'm not quite like... It's not quite appealing to me in the way that I was hoping it would, because it's different than what I expected, but there are certainly some things there that I'm enjoying. So I will say I'm probably not going to get to the second book of the duology this month like I planned. That will probably have to wait. I'm thinking probably until December, because my November TBR is stacked with some books that I really want to get to, and I don't want to take any of them off, so that is going to probably have to be held off until December, I think. 2 books that I finished up at the beginning of the month that I started in November, one of which was Falling into Oblivion by Aaron M. Payne. This is a new release, self-published book that I was actually sent a review copy by the author, who some of you may know as the YouTube channel Bibliotheory, who is a great channel. This is his debut novel, and I enjoyed this one a decent amount. Had a good time with it. I have a review for this on the channel, and as well as the next book I'm going to talk about, which is A Time to Kill by John Grisham. This is a legal thriller, the first of which I have ever read, and I read this because my friend Jonathan Cohn, who runs the YouTube channel Jonathan Cohn, who I'm sure some of you may know, as well as one of our other friends, Alex, shout out to both of them for being awesome. Both of them love John Grisham, and especially this book, and both recommended it to me like a lot, and I bought it a little while ago and said, okay, I'll read it sometime and see if I like it, and I enjoyed this one a lot more than I expected to. So that one was a lot of fun. I believe that review is already out as well. And then as far as the 2 books that I read in October and finished already as of time of me recording this video, the first one was Star Wars Death Troopers by Joe Schreiber. This is a Star Wars zombie book, which was a lot of fun. I read the prequel to this, Red Harvest, a couple of years ago, really enjoyed that as well, and I enjoyed this one, I would say, equally as much. Nothing real fantastic on like the character or story front, but it's very entertaining, it's very fun. If you go into it just expecting a Star Wars book where the premise is zombies, that's pretty much what you get. So I enjoyed it quite a bit for that premise. I had a good time with it. And then the final thing that I'm going to be talking about here that I finished is Misery by Stephen King. This was a buddy read, again, with Jonathan Cohn. He was going to be reading this month, and he said that if I could get my hands on the book, then we would buddy read it together, and I got it in September. And so I was like, okay, I'm ready for the buddy read. So we read it together and have talked about it some in our our own personal discussions and chats and things like that, and that's been a lot of fun. And I really loved this book as well. I have been really loving everything I've read by Stephen King so far. I've read 4 of his books now, so I am definitely thinking he is going to be a new favorite for me. I have several other books of his ready to be read probably next year, and several others that I don't have yet but I really want to get to. So I'm looking forward to reading more of his stuff. And again, a review for that is not out yet, but it should be out in early November. The final couple of books that I haven't discussed yet that I am currently in the process of reading, one of them is a short story collection called Anterior Skies Volume 1. This I've only barely started. I read the first handful of stories in it and just haven't gotten around to reading more of it since. I'm hoping, of all the ones that of the books that I'm currently in the middle of, this is probably the one that will take the longest. I expect this one may bleed into November, potentially, we'll see. But so far I enjoyed the couple short stories I read, but I only have literally read a couple of short stories. I've read maybe 3 or 4, all of which were only a couple pages long, so I haven't read very much of it, but I am looking forward to continuing it. And I am also working on Darth, Bane, Path of Destruction, the first book in the Star Wars Darth Bane trilogy, which is a reread. This is my reread for the month, and I'm planning to do each of these books in the trilogy towards the end of this year. So first one October, second one November, third one December. And I'm enjoying it so far. So far I have only reached the end of part 1, so I am still having a little ways to go, probably about 3/4 of the book left at this time, but I do remember that the rest of this book really, really worked for me. Like, the beginning of the book was good, even when I first read it, but the rest of the book is what really hooked me, so I'm looking forward to reading more of it, and looking forward to reading this trilogy in general again. So that covers all the books that I've checked out this month and everything. I also did get some books this month, but you'll have to wait until later for that, because usually if I get more than a couple books, I wait and do a book haul, which I got a fair number of books this month, so you will have a book haul to look forward to here in early November. A lot of stuff I'm really excited about, and some stuff that is very, very out of the ordinary for me, so keep a lookout for that. As far as channel stuff is concerned, we are currently in the mid 650s, 670s, which is fantastic. Gained about 25 or 30 subscribers over the course of this month, which is great. It's about my usual. But things have been growing really well. The channel has been doing a lot better this year than I expected it to. As I've said a few times, I figured we'd maybe hit 600 by the end of this year. I did not expect to surpass that and already be so close to 700, which I expect we will probably hit by the end of the year. So thank you to all of you who have been checking out the channel and subscribing and everything. Not a whole lot of real crazy stuff been going on the channel lately. Things have kind of been just progressing as usual, but I am looking ahead to the next couple months where I'm going to be reading some really exciting things, and also, of course, coming up on the end of the year where I have to start thinking about end of the year lists and things like that, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be tough to put those together because I've read a lot of fantastic books this year, and last year, even though I also read a lot of great books, I feel like putting together my list of favorites for last year was easier than it's going to be this year. That's going to be interesting. So we'll see how that goes. But kind of looking ahead to that, so I'm looking forward to getting into all that stuff as the year winds down to a close. And of course, also looking forward to reading some more stuff next month that I have been looking forward to and am very excited about, which you will be learning about in my next video. So that's pretty much all I got for you today. Let me know in the comments what you think of the stuff on the channel this month, what you think of the books that I've been reading, and if you have been reading anything cool this month, let me know in the comments as well. So that's pretty much it for this video, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.